it's softer on the backside. So this is called the hard palate, soft palate, the orgate. Here's the labial frenulum. This is one labial frenulum. This is another labial frenulum. The lingual frenulum is on the inside that I'm touching. It attaches to the lower jaw. And then as far as the glands go, I tilt it like this. This is the masseter, okay? This is a parotid gland. This is the mandibular gland, or submandibular gland. So the masseter, the parotid gland looks kind of yellowish, spongy, whereas the submandibular gland looks more like a piece of meat. Don't confuse that with a lymph node. This is a lymph node. This is a mandibular gland or submandibular gland. This is a parotid gland. You notice that there's a little tiny tube that runs over the masseter. You see it? This is called parotid duct that brings saliva from the parotid gland into the mouth. And the submandibular gland has a duct underneath that pours into the lower jaw. So that's as far as the parotid gland, submandibular gland go. Then we're going to look at the throat here. I showed you the vocal cords. First of all, this flap is the epiglottis. See it? Let me push it aside. Epiglottis. See it? And the epiglottis grainy here. Trying to pull it up for you right there. This is the epiglottis because the opening below that is called glottis. That basically pharynx and glottis are like a continuous hole. So food goes, if you follow the path of the food, let's say this is food, see what it's coming out of? Right here, right there. See, it's going all the way through the pharynx, and then, now if once food goes in there, the epiglottis would close down on the glottis, so that food doesn't go into the trachea, okay? And then it goes into the esophagus. Let me open this for you. Do you see the vocal cords? Do you have tweezers? These are the vocal cords. 1, 2. Do you see that?
Could you do it again, please?
The vocal cords. Right here. Yes, I keep showing it to you. It's right inside the larynx. It's right inside the larynx. I've opened it up so you can see the larynx cavity, the vocal cords. Below the larynx is the trachea. This is trachea. This is going to be part of the respiratory system. So where is the esophagus? Esophagus is right underneath the trachea. So if I push this aside, by the way, this is thyroid. This is thyroid on this side. But you can see it very well on this side as well. Just side. I pull it out. See it? So if you see a piece of meat, what's that?
We know we need to know thyroid.
Later on, yes. As part of the endocrine system. When I'm going over the endocrine, the glands, you need to know the thymus, you need to know the thyroid, you need to know the pancreas, you need to know the liver. These are all part of the endocrine. Okay? So this is it, the thyroid. Where is the esophagus? See, I'm pushing this aside. Okay. Let me show you again. So this is the trachea, right? With the thyroid. This is the esophagus. It's tucked underneath the trachea. And then we go to the lower portions of the cat. Now we're going to look at, follow this here.
So gross.
Oh my god. Can I do that? See, I couldn't do it.
Oh my gosh.
So that's how I do it.
That's what it sounds like when you do CPR on an old person. Or somebody with brittle bones.
Ready? Are you ready?
You're gonna be a serial
That's horrible. Why would you say that?
I want to show you the esophagus underneath here that it enters the stomach.
We can't see.
Well, let me free it up first. And I show it to you. Where am I? I am going to zoom out some more. There we go. Okay, guys, see, this is the lung. These are lungs, right? And esophagus is here that goes way under the lung, through the diaphragm. This is the diaphragm. So this is the esophagus. You notice the esophagus gets bigger relative to what I showed you, doesn't it? It's a bigger tube now. So this is the esophagus. And am I in the view?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the esophagus and this is the diaphragm. You should know that. And then I told you that you should remind me to show you the thymus. This is the heart. You see the heart?
Yeah.
Yes?
Uh-huh.
Thymus.
Okay. Thymus.
Exactly. It starts from over here, all over here. Okay, so thymus, the heart, the diaphragm, the lungs, which I'm going to go over later on, the esophagus, right? Esophagus. Okay, now we're going to go below the diaphragm, check the stomach area, the abdominal area. Liver has several lobes, the left side versus the right side. Okay, here's how it works. This is left lateral, left medial. Left lateral is pretty big, isn't it? Left medial. Right medial, all of this is right medial. All of this. Right medial is actually made of two parts. This part and this part. This part is called the quadrate lobe. It's all in your nose. Quadrate. Quadrate lobe. And the distinction between this and the quadrate lobe is this structure here, which is the gallbladder. Okay, so left lateral, left medial, right medial, quadrate, lobe, quadrate, lobe. What is this? Gallbladder. So where is the right lateral? The right lateral is over here. Hidden.
Oh my gosh.
This one.
See, look. Oh.
This is the right lateral. Okay?
Hold on.
Y'all see it?
Yes.
Okay, now, another surprise for you. Other than the left and right lobes, whether it's medial or lateral, there are a couple of other accessory lobes called caudate. C-A-U-D-A-T-E, caudate lobes. All right? There's two of them. This one, see there are two lobes here. This is right lateral. This is called primary caudate. Primary caudate. I'm lifting it up. Can you see it?
Is this one? This one?
It's like connected though.
Yeah.
So what is it?
You know what? You can bring that.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah. How long is this? Right here. No, it's right here. Look at all the fat.
I think that's the best I can make it for you.
Pretty helpful.
Right here. This is called primary caudate. It's tucked underneath the liver. Right? It's part of the liver called primary caudate. And then, if you know if there's a primary, there's also a secondary. You ready for the secondary? Lift the liver up. You're going to see a middle finger-like structure.
This?
Right here.
Yeah, that's it. This.
That one little flap, right?
Yeah, it's the secondary.
The way it's like that.
This is called secondary caudate. It's like a thumb. All right, while we are at this, I'm going to show you the bile ducts. There are 3 bile ducts. There is cystic bile duct, there's hepatic bile duct, there's common bile duct. What happens is the cystic bile duct comes from the gallbladder, hepatic bile duct comes from the liver, and they join together to produce a common bile duct. Let me show you. Right where the caudate is, this is the gallbladder, y'all. See it? Dark green. Okay. The duct that it comes from the gallbladder is called cystic bile duct. Coming from the gallbladder, called cystic bile duct. And the duct that comes from the liver is over here. is they're called hepatic duct. So there are two ducts. They're dark green, that's why it's hard to see. So if you want to see it in your own cat, you have to pull it out and look at the underneath the liver, you can see it. So one duct comes from the gallbladder, one duct comes from the liver, and then they join together here, produce the common bile duct. Notice where it's going? It's going into the duodenum of the small intestine. This is the duodenum, right here. Duodenum. So bile empties into what?
She's connected right there.
Yeah.
What does bile do? Digestion of fat. Fat digestion. That's what also makes sure the color of your teeth.
Nice to know.
Remember, I told you this. So poop is basically yellowish brown. It's because of the byproduct of the bile.
No.
Right here. You see it? Okay. The stomach this region of the stomach over here that actually connects to the esophagus right here is called cardiac because it's connected to the sphincter called cardiac sphincter. Cardiac right here. Now this region that arches up like this is called fundus.
Can you light it up a little bit more? There you go.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay. So cardiac, fundus. This whole thing that looks like an ear is called the body, also known as greater curvature.
So we can use either or?
Yes, the body, also known as greater curvature. Okay? Of course, if there's a greater curvature, there's always a lesser curvature. This is it. Lesser curvature, greater curvature. Fundus, cardiac. Cardiac, fundus, greater curvature, the body, lesser curvature. So the body ends here. From here on, from here to here, we call it pylorus. Why is it called pylorus? Because there's a sphincter here called pylorus sphincter. Cardiac sphincter. Why is it called cardiac sphincter? Closer to the heart. It's closer to the heart. This is called pylorus sphincter, right? Because pylorus region, because it's closer to the pyloric sphincter. This is called pyloric sphincter. You can probably see the color change here. Right here. When it bends, that's where the sphincter is.
You could have right there.
Food comes from the stomach and enters through into the duodenum through the pyloric sphincter. All right. So this whole thing is called greater what? Omentum, which is part of the mesentery. I told you that in the lecture.
So that's like.
All of this fat, yes, all of this fat is greater omentum or part of the mesentery. So if there's a greater omentum, there's always a lesser omentum. Lesser omentum, greater omentum. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to continue the tour of the intestine, of the what you call it, system, and then I'm going to show you the small intestine. 3 regions. Small intestine has 3 regions: duodenum, jejunum, ileum. Duodenum is only about this long. It's like, I'm going to lift it up like this. And splash on me. Looks like an ear. Do you see it? Duodenum. You asked about the pancreas. Guess where the pancreas is? Right here. Duodenum hugs the pancreas.
Doesn't it also releases
A lot of stuff in duodenum. That's why it's so connected to it. Well, pancreas, you know what's the function? It releases a ton of enzymes and hormones into the duodenum. That's why the connection there.
That's why you can't live without it.
All right, so what we're going to do now, that's all of these loops are jejunum.
All these things are jejunum.
So jejunum is big inside, in this long,
Feel this?
very long. It goes into loops.
Is that the longest one?
Where's the first part?
And then, let me pull if I pull the jejunum like this, all of the jejunum are connected to, you see this network of blood vessels?
What?
You see that? They're called greater mesentery. That's part of the lymphatic tissue. You see it? All right, now, the greater mesentery, of course, there's a greater mesentery that is there. That's the mesentery, which I will show you in a little bit. All of the greater mesentery, they connect to a center called, right here. Where's my third hand? There. Called pancreas of Acelli. It's on the list. You go to the lymphatic tissue. Go to the lymphatic system. It's called pancreas of Acelli. Do you see it? It's like a knob.
And that's where
Connected, yeah.
the greater mesentery.
The greater mesentery. That's all of the lymphatic tissue, lymph, and everything goes in there. Pancreas of Acelli. So after jejunum, there is ileum. the last part of the last part of the small intestine is called ileum. So I'm showing you the pancreas of Acelli again. See it?
No.
Right here in the center. You can go ahead and do it because I can't. I want to go ahead and do it so that everybody can see it.
Please do.
Pancreas of Acelli, the center point of greater mesentery. But the reason I did that is because I want to show you the ileum, okay? In order to see the ileum, first you have to find the beginning of the large intestine, which is this right here. Looks like this. This is the beginning of the large intestine, okay? Called cecum. C-E-C-U-M or C-A-E-C-U-M, depending on whether if it's British or American English. Okay? British English goes cecum, but they don't call it, they don't pronounce it. Cecum. This is, the cecum is equivalent to the appendix. Here is where our appendix is. Cats don't have an appendix. We have one over here. So where is the ileum? Okay, I'm touching the ileum. The ileum is the last end of the small intestine. Okay. Where the small intestine connects to the large intestine. Can you see here when I'm pointing?
No.
Right here. See my thumb? Mm-hmm. Where the ileum connects to the cecum called ileocecal valve. It should be on the list. Ileocecal valve. That's where poop goes. Poop goes through ileocecal valve to the large intestine.
Right? This one? I think so too.
Okay. All right, so that's the small intestine. Now we're going to look at the large intestine.
Mm-hmm.
Is it in the view?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is the cecum, right?
Yeah. Okay.
See that?
Yeah.
That's the valve that I told you. Okay, so follow my finger.
Okay.
Can you follow?
Yeah.
This is called ascending colon because it keeps going what? Up. Goes up. Ascending. Ascending colon. Goes up, right? Colon has 4 regions. Ascending colon, transverse colon.